Hey, welcome to another video on math problem solving. This is Bharat Divyan from Zuzwang Academy. And what I have today is actually a very simple problem. This was a problem, I think, probably in school portions for a fifth grader. But what I wanted to focus on today is to show you the different ways, the different techniques that can be used to solve even a simple problem like this, and to actually go a step further and ask the question, how do you actually develop the skills around these processes or these different methodologies? So the first part is somebody who's extremely procedural about this. So how does that work? I don't know what the number is. I'm going to call it X. And that X is increasing by 10%. So X plus 10% of X is 1210. This is framing the equation. This is the connection. This is very simple. 10% can be rewritten as 10 by 100, which is 1 by 10. So this equation then becomes X plus X by 10 equal to 1210. So this is fractional addition. So if you're again procedurally good at fractional addition, then you know that it's 10x by 10 plus x by 10, giving me 11x by 10, which is 1210. So taking it a further step away, it brings me to the point saying it's 1210 times 10 divided by 11. Then I have to do the long division, which is again still in procedure, remember. So it's 12100 divided by 11. So 11 goes one time, then I have a remainder of 1. I bring the other one here, that is 1. And the rest of them are zeros. So 1100 is the answer. So X is 1100. What about this problem? The pros are, if you follow the procedure to the T, you'll definitely get the answer. You won't make a mistake with it. The con is also that following the procedure becomes very, very hard. So framing the equation could get wrong, doing the fractional addition can get wrong, doing the division can get wrong. Something can go wrong in any one of these things, and eventually you might end up with an error, a mistake. It could be a silly mistake or it could be a blatant error. Nevertheless, procedural things works for computers, not so much for humans. So is there a better way to solve this? Yes, that is called intuition. How do you build a math intuition? And what is in fact the intuitive way to look at it? So the intuitive way is I look at the number, it's 1210, and this is some number which has been increased by some other number. So I know that my number has to be less than this. That's my intuition. I don't know what these numbers are, but I definitely know that 1210 is greater than the number that I'm thinking about. The nearest big number that's around this is probably 1000. So I'll start with 1000 as a seed and say, okay, what's 10% of 1000? That's 100. If I add both of them, it's 1100, but not 121. So I go for my next guess. The next biggest number around here would be 1100. And 10% of that is 110, because remember, all I have to do is remove 10 from here. Intuitively understand this. Add them together, I get 1210, and that is exactly my answer. Therefore, I can go here without dealing with the algebra and the percentage and all of it, just intuitively doing this math. How do you develop this? The idea is to always look for what's happening behind the scenes, not just to look for a formula, but look for what's happening in the problem. And what's happening here is that there is a number, 1/10 of that number is getting added to it, and suddenly the answer becomes 1210. Okay, what about the next way of solving this? This is the pattern in number sense, pattern matching in number sense. So the moment you see 1210, there's a clue here. Why? Because 121 is nothing but 11 square. So it has something to do with 11. You also further go and say, what is 10% increase? A 10% increase is always going to be 100% plus a 10%. In other words, 110% of the original one. Or if you were to think of decimals, a 10% increase always means 1.1. So now you know 1.1x is nothing but 11 into 11 into 10. So 11 into 11 into 10. Right? So this becomes much easier to solve because you know that there's a common pattern, that 11 is the common pattern here. So if you cancel this out, you'll be left with 10. 11 multiplied by 2 tens is 1100. That's your answer. And this means there are multiple ways of solving any math problem. There is an intuitive way to solve it, there's a procedural way to solve it, and there's oftentimes a pattern or a number sense driven way of solving it. And the best mathematicians are the ones who have all three of them at their fingertips. So if you want to get really good at math, then you want to develop each one of them. So procedure is what typically school teaches a lot. So following that to the T and ensuring that you get really meticulous about your procedure will ensure that you get good at this. Intuition is when you solve a lot of Olympiad problems and you ask questions that procedure is not able to help you. Where you try to solve problems by understanding what's happening, where understanding and comprehension take the topmost thing. Pattern matching and number sense is just a love for math. When you play around with numbers, when you look at multiples and factors and all of these things, then you'll start developing a number sense of, what are the factors of a number, what are the multiples of a number, what are the squares, what are the roots, what are the prime numbers. So it's doing it in an abstract fashion, and it will come in handy in concrete problems such as this. That's about what I had for today. I hope you enjoyed this video. If so, do like, share, and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. Thank you so much.